Part 3. Interpretation. The part on outline has been given. Next, the part on interpretation of the principle of the Mahayana will be given. It consists of 3 chapters. 1. Revelation of true meaning. 2. The correction of evil attachments. And 3. Analysis of the types of aspiration for enlightenment. Chapter 1. Revelation of true meaning. Section 1. One mind and its 2 aspects. The revelation of the true meaning of the principle of the Mahayana can be achieved by unfolding the doctrine that the principle of one mind has 2 aspects. One is the aspect of mind in terms of the absolute, or tathata, or suchness, and the other is the aspect of mind in terms of phenomena, or samsara, or birth and death. Each of these 2 aspects embraces all states of existence. Why? Because these 2 aspects are mutually inclusive. The mind in terms of the absolute. The mind in terms of the absolute is the one world of reality, or dharma dhatu, and the essence of all phases of existence in their totality. That which is called the essential nature of the mind is unborn and is imperishable. It is only through illusions that all things come to be differentiated. If one is freed from illusions, then to him there will be no appearances of objects regarded as absolutely independent existences. Therefore, all things from the beginning transcend all forms of verbalization, description, and conceptualization, and are, in the final analysis, undifferentiated, free from alteration, and indestructible. They are only of the one mind, hence the name suchness. All explanations by words are provisional and without validity, for they are merely used in accordance with illusions and are incapable of denoting suchness. The term suchness, likewise, has no attributes which can be verbally specified. The term suchness is, so to speak, the limit of verbalization, wherein a word is used to put an end to words. But the essence of suchness itself cannot be put an end to, for all things in their absolute aspect are real. Nor is there anything which needs to be pointed out as real, for all things are equally in the state of suchness. It should be understood that all things are incapable of being verbally explained or thought of, hence the name suchness. Question. If such is the meaning of the principle of the Mahayana, how is it possible for people to conform themselves to and enter into it? Answer. If they understand that, concerning all things, though they are spoken of, there is neither that which speaks nor that which can be spoken of, and, though they are thought of, there is neither that which thinks nor that which can be thought of, then they are said to have conformed to it. And when they are freed from their thoughts, they are said to have entered into it. Now for a few of the translator's notes regarding this section. The most authoritative interpreter, Fazang, defines one mind as the Tathagatagarbha. It should be noted that one is used to indicate absolute in the sense of one without any second, not one among many. The premise that the 2 aspects are mutually inclusive means reality is conceived as the intersection of the absolute order and the phenomenal order. Therefore, it contains in itself both the absolute and the phenomenal order at once. The absolute order is thought to be transcendental, and yet is conceived as not being outside of the phenomenal order. Again, the phenomenal order is thought to be temporal, and yet is conceived as not being outside of the absolute order. In other words, they are ontologically identical. They are 2 aspects of one and the same reality. Perhaps the most famous and simple statement of the relationship between the absolute and the phenomenal order can be found in the sayings of Nagarjuna. Quote, "There is no difference whatsoever between nirvana, or the absolute, and samsara, or phenomena. There is no difference whatsoever between samsara and nirvana." Close quote. With respect to the term unborn, or anuttapana. This is a technical term used in the sense of, quote, beyond time determination. The statement that the Absolute transcends all modes of thought is constantly repeated in the Buddhist scriptures and commentaries. The ideas expressed in the preceding several lines are found in terse presentation in the following passage by Nagarjuna, quote, while the object of thought is absent, predication ceases, for, just as in the case of nirvana, the essential nature of all things, which is neither born nor perishes, cannot be predicated, close quote. In regard to the sentence that the term suchness is, so to speak, the limit of verbalization wherein a word is used to put an end to words, a Korean monk, Hyo, in his commentary on this text, written in the early part of the 8th century, says, quote, it is just as though one stops the voices with a voice, close quote. Following this comment by Hyo, Fa Zhang explains, quote, it is just like saying, be quiet. If this voice were not there, other voices would not be made to cease, close quote. The term suchness or tathata is symbolic. It is an index to that which is transcendental. It is a provisional device of language, on the conceptual plane, used in an attempt to establish some sort of communication in a realm where all verbal communication fails.